The satin layer effect can be used to give a metal sheen, and we can use it in a restrained way like this, or in a more extreme way like this. So let's start out with the restrained version. Coming to the beginning file, I will double click to the right of the layer name, and then come down to satin. First thing I want to do is sample the color from the color of the type itself. So I'll click on the color swatch, come to the type, sample that. I'd like to use a darker version of that, so I'll just move that down in my color field, and I'm going to back off on the opacity. I'm going to change the contour to ring, and that's going to give me that nice satin effect. In addition, I also want to add an inner glow, and the inner glow I'm going to use with a blending mode of screen, an opacity of around 50%, and a color of white. Now for the more extreme effect. I know that to achieve what I want here, in addition to a layer effect, I'm also going to be applying some filters to the type. So before I do anything to the type layer, I'm going to convert it to a smart object. I'll then double click to the right of the layer to bring up the layer style dialog box. Come into satin. I will once again change the color, sample the color from the type itself, use a darker version of that. Now I want to really amp up the effect here, so I'm going to use an extreme blending mode of linear burn. And in addition to that, I'm going to put the opacity up to 100%, and I'm going to change the contour from ring to ring double. It's always worth experimenting with the invert checkbox to see which one you like best. In this case, I do not want to reverse the effect. I'll click OK to that. Now I want to distort the type, so I'm going to come to the filter menu, distort, twirl, just add a modest amount of twirling, 5 degrees, back to the filter menu, blur, add a Gaussian blur of 8 pixels. Now because my type is a smart object, if I need to change the content of that text layer, I can double click on the smart object, select the type, change my type. If my type requires a different size of canvas, I can come to the image menu and choose reveal all, back to the image menu and choose trim, trim away any transparent pixels, save the smart object, come back to my work in progress where the type updates in place. In this case it's a bit too big, so I'm going to press Command or Control T. I will see this warning message. That's going to put a transformation rectangle around the type. I'm going to scale it proportionally from its center point by holding down Option or Alt and the Shift key.